Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to our live Q&A that we do every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time to answer your questions. I'm Lesley Logan, co-founder of onlinepilatesclasses.com. And today's question is, what kind of Pilates training should I do? So I have this really great question, and I get this question a lot. So I thought it'd be really exciting to just dive in. Before I do that, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to this video, please do that. Make sure you hit the notification so you can get these live videos and you're told when they're coming out. Also, this is where we answer your questions, unless you're an OPC member, which then we answer your questions every single day in our community. But what kind of Pilates questions training should you do? I love that you're asking this question versus just like doing the one that's near you or that you've heard about, because a lot of times people choose the wrong training based on the wrong information. And so I'm excited to dive into this. I actually wrote a book called Profitable Pilates, Everything But the Exercises. That's Profitable Pilates, Everything But the Exercises. You can get on Amazon. You can actually get on my site, profitablepilates.com. And the first several chapters are all about choosing a program. And if you're already a teacher watching this, don't leave. You might be considering a master's program, a bridge program, and all of this information is going to apply. First of all, you want to make sure that the Pilates training you're going to do is a training that you can use anywhere in the world. So if the training you're about to sign up for only can be used at their studio or their studios, like a chain of studios, you are going to be limited and you're going to have to set up for a whole new training, which is not exciting because these things are expensive. You should also know that the industry is not regulated. There's not a government agency making sure that people who are offering trainings have the skill set to do that, or ensure that you're going to get what you paid for at the end of it. There is one third party that is trying to do this. That's the National Pilates Certification Program. And you can actually see a list of their approved programs on there. And these are people who actually went through many, many, many hoops to prove that their program fits all the requirements. And those requirements are often what massage training or any other type of regulated industry training, like a hair training, would have to go through to be regulated. So it's really, really exciting. I would definitely look at that. So first question is, can I use this outside of your studio or chain of studios? The answer is no. As much as you like them, I would really consider going somewhere else, because if you really want to be a Pilates instructor, you want to be able to move anywhere and teach anywhere, and you never know where life might lead you. You might want to open your own space, right? So the other thing I would ask is looking for programs that teach you on all the equipment. So this is really important because, again, you don't want to feel limited in what you can offer someone who needs your help. And while you might think, I'm just going to open up a studio with a reformer, that's all I need. The truth is if you don't know how the mat work works, you don't really know how the reformer exercises came to be. And that's really, really important. As much as people are like, I just want to do the reformer, the truth is that you should understand where the reformer exercise came from, which was inspired by the mat and the Cadillac and other exercises, like other pieces of equipment like that. So it's really important. Also for me, being able to use a one chair, a high chair, an armchair, even if I didn't have access to those things, it allows me to get creative in what my client might need based on what they have access to. So if I know all the exercises that were created, I can really help the person in front of me based on what they need that day. The other way I would look at choosing a program is honestly on the amount of hours that you're going to spend in the program. So you might think, I just want to get a teacher and I want to be done as quickly as possible. And the truth is that that's not exactly ideal. You definitely want to be in a program that's at least 6 months, if not 9 months to a year. And I know that's going to be frustrating if you really, really want to start your next career. Most programs would allow you to start teaching even during the program. At least mine did. So once I had passed a certain number of hours, I was able to start practice teaching on people who are not other people in the program. And then at another certain amount of hours, I could actually start teaching clients there. So it's not going to limit your ability to teach, but what it is going to do is keep you around your teacher trainers for a really long period of time. Some other things to just consider is who is your teacher trainer? How many teacher trainers do you have access to? How much time do they have? If this person's really, really busy, are they going to have time for your questions? Do they only have time for your questions on the weekends? What's going on there? So you really want to make sure that you actually like the teacher trainer. I would absolutely make sure you take a session with them, from them if you can. I would also find out reviews from people who've been through it. There are a lot of teacher trainers out there who unfortunately are exhausted, tired, stressed, have issues being a leader, and they not be the best teacher trainer. So even if it means you have to drive a little further for a better teacher trainer, you want to have a really amazing first experience. Okay. So just because you do one program doesn't mean you won't do two. But I would love for you to have the best experience with your first program and that propel your life forward until you really start to figure out like what niche you want to be in. So a lot of people, like myself, example, I've done 3 programs. The reason I did that is I really wanted to nerd out in the type of style that Joseph Pilates had created. And so I found people who had trained with one of his proteges, and then I found someone who did train with him, and I was able to do that, and people who trained with him as well. And so I kept going down that to really nerd out. So the other part of the question was like, should I do classical? Should I do contemporary? Should I do modern? So contemporary and modern would be the same thing. I can't answer that question for you because it's really going to depend on you and how you like to learn and how you like to teach and how you like to do Pilates. I highly recommend you take from both, and I wouldn't just take from one contemporary teacher and one classical teacher. I would take from a couple, and I would do it for a while. And I know that may mean like delaying when you start your program, but really the truth is, it's like when I first started teaching, you had to actually do several months of Pilates before you could even sign up. And so I think it's actually better to take your time and make sure you like the style that you're going through. I particularly like classical for myself. It doesn't feel limiting. It feels really, really cool to have certainty, to have an order and structure to my mat and my reformer. I can omit things that aren't right for me that day. I can omit things for my clients that aren't right for them that day. And then I can use the other repertoire to really help enhance their program. That being said, you might like a different approach, and that's okay. You need to know that that's really, really okay. But I would recommend you try them both and you experience them both for a while and really start to understand like what are you the most attracted to, what are you the most drawn to, right? So any other things that I think you should know are going to be in my book, but I would also just say this. Like you cannot really actually compare apples to apples, like this program to this program. It's going to be impossible because every program has different offerings and then hours you're going to have, how many trainings there are going to be, how like are they trainings like back to back? Are they going to go over a year? So some training programs are going to be like $1,700, but they don't actually give you any time in the studio versus $8,000, but you have all the time in the studio you want, plus one-on-one meetings. So what I really, really recommend is like get on the phone with people, literally list out like, what do I get? What don't I get? Is there anything that I'm going to have to buy in this program that you are not charging for right now? So some programs will look like they're $10,000 because they include all the sessions you have to take. And some programs will look like they're $4,000 because they don't, but you still have to take them. So they're just really important questions. So I highly recommend getting my book. If you're already a teacher and you're considering a bridge program or a master's program or anything like that, I do have a mentorship program for people who are already teachers, and I love offering it. This year's program in 2024 is completely full, but you can start to get information for the 2025 program, which is what you'll go to is Elevate, Lesley Logan, LesleyLogan.co, so just co/elevate. You can see information. You can get on the wait list for my next one. We'll be opening up the application doors soon for 2025 because we have so many people who are interested. What a master's program or a mentorship program would do is it takes someone who's already a teacher and then teaches them either in the style that this person is wanting. So in my case, you'd be wanting to learn the way that Joseph Pilates taught my teachers, and also that classical style. You would also be learning on how to not talk so much, overcorrect, overcue, and really actually be able to guide the body in the moment. So my particular style of teaching doesn't pre-plan up session ahead of time because I don't know how you're going to walk in the door. So I hope this is really, really helpful in picking a program, especially those of you who are watching this. You're obviously really interested in Pilates. I could go on and on for hours, but the reality is like that bit of information should help you start to make comparisons. And then I really, really, really can't stress enough, like take your time, get people to tell you their experience, because you just don't want to pick a program, be super, super invested and be in a program where you do not feel supported, where you do not feel loved, where you felt a little bit like you're being in an abusive situation. You really, really want to make sure you're picking one where the person is very excited to teach you and the people who went through that have lots of love and support and still take from them. So thank you so much. If you have any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I will answer them live on Sundays. And by the way, on March 1st, we're kicking off a free accountability challenge, opc.me/challenge. You will want to sign up now to get on the wait list, and we will